This tennis ball might be one of the reasons for the most notable scene in cinematic history. Of course, we're talking about Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. And although the author himself hated the film adaptation, The Shining is a cult classic which everyone watches during October. But what's the true story behind it? The music, setting, colors, sound, but most importantly, what makes a tennis ball so creepy? Why did Stanley Kubrick want to make The Shining? Since it was a best-selling book by Stephen King, he wanted to make a horror movie, but a serious one. After his last film, Barry Lyndon, underperformed at the box office, he wanted his next project to be something that would both interest him and reach a wider audience. It took Kubrick over 100 stories to read before he found the right one. And since he was obsessed with human psychology, he ultimately loved the story of a madman isolated in a hotel. The filming took over a year, making it one of the longest continuous shoots in movie history. And the scene where Shelley Duvall swings the bat at Jack Nicholson took 127 takes. This took a major toll on set of The Shining. What's interesting about Kubrick's style of music for The Shining was that it wasn't movie music. It was more like sounds that made it very unsettling for audiences to hear amongst a suspenseful scene. Kubrick was also a master at knowing when or when not to play music in the background. Like during the bar scene in the ballroom with Jack for the first time. It's simply just their conversation and nothing more. Complete silence.
A little slow tonight, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Mr. Torrance. What'll it be?
What makes this so interesting is usually scenes like this with important dialogue, especially when he starts to go crazy, is there's usually subtle music in the background. But here, there's not. It makes your mind so focused on what they're trying to say that it makes the scene 10 times more suspenseful than it already is. Because if they were to add music, it would kind of lighten the tone for a little bit. That's why the second time he enters the ballroom, there's soulful 1920s to 1930s jazz in the distance. The reason why most of the scenes in the film feel so scary even when nothing's happening is because of the way Kubrick wanted the film to be shot. He designed the Overlook Hotel to almost seem infinite and real at the same time. He made it so the hotel seemed like a maze with all of the hallways and doors that made no sense. Since the camera doesn't just stay still for most of the film, it glides around while everything happens. This was the first of its time for a film to do that. Kubrick wanted the camera to feel like a point of view of a ghost, always following, watching, and waiting. The symmetry and framing found within the film also signifies how the hotel feels a little too perfect and eerily empty. So why the tennis ball? Kubrick wanted the ball to represent a bridge between innocence and horror. When Danny is playing alone in the hallway, he shows a yellow tennis ball rolling towards him, leading him to room 237. The ball acts as bait and pulls Danny deeper within the Overlook Hotel's mysteriousness. And because the ball is bright yellow, we can see how this is a visual cue of danger disguised as play. In the beginning of the film, we see Jack also bouncing the ball repeatedly as he starts to fall under the hotel's corruption. The ball represents how Jack's mind slowly starts going insane, and the hotel's influence on Danny as a symbol of evil energy being passed along. Hey, you made it to the end of my ramble. If you want to see any more videos like this, make sure to click down below in the comments. If you want to see more like this, make sure to click down below in the comments for more videos like this.
A little slow tonight, isn't it?